could well be our last meeting. It'll certainly be my last meeting, and I think it's going to be Jim's last meeting. Unfortunately, I've got health issues. Jim's had health issues for years. We've got Louise Thompson from PCFA and Jason Castle from PCFA, and I think they'd probably either or both would like to say a few words to us. And Louise, we'll let you go first because you've been my first point of contact for a fair while now.
Mute all. Louise, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
No, you're right.
No, I'm okay.
I'm about to mute all, and then you have to unmute yourself.
Oh, yep. Thank you. There we go. That's a good. That's control, Jim. Nev, I thought you were going to say I was your best friend then, but yes, we've chatted a couple of times. I've been with PCFA for 6 months today, so I've just finished my probation, and it looks as if I've got the green tick to stay, and it's wonderful when I get to meet people like you, Nev, and I suppose those that are on the Zoom call today, a representative of all the people I get to meet and chat with every day and help in particular. So my role is working with support groups predominantly, and a lot of the administration and projects for PCFA. So when Nev called last week to share the news, I almost fell off my chair because it's such it's a wonderful opportunity to have an online support group. There are only a couple of others, and I suppose I'm just very interested, and I won't stay long either like Jason, but I just want to say if the group wants to continue, please reach out to me if I can be of any support. I know that's going to be very difficult to replace both Nev and Jim's technical wizardry, but you know, there is opportunities there to learn and to take on that role if you wish to continue to record, to upload to YouTube. But please let me know, come to me directly, and I'll do anything I can to help you maintain the group as it is. But big shoes to fill from what I gather.
Thanks very much for your kind words, Louise. It's been a long journey. I've been here since September 2011. I think Jim's been obviously here a little bit longer. But yeah, we've seen a lot of men over the years, I can tell you that. We've had trips to LA, we've had trips to Sydney and Melbourne and Canberra, and I think we certainly got enzalutamide and Zytiga on the PBS sooner than what it would have done otherwise. That's for absolute certain. So we did. But anyway, that's another story, another day. And thanks again, Louise. Welcome to you, Paul. We can't hear or see you, but anyway, you're there. We know you're there. Jason, would you like to say something or not? Or yep, thank you. You might have to unmute you. Oh, now I was. I think I was saying all that to Louise, and she probably didn't hear a word I said because I was on mute.
I could see the mouth going.
Yeah, yeah. I've been involved since September 2011, and Jim's been involved longer than that. So, and as I said, we definitely got enzalutamide and Zytiga on the PBS sooner than it would have got on the PBS otherwise, because we had meetings with the manufacturers of both those drugs. They'd both made applications, both been knocked back. Astellas was the Japanese owned, and I think the Japanese owner, when he got knocked back from the PBS, I think he was happy to pull the pin because of his national pride. But anyway, the CEO, can't remember her name now, we got a call from them, and we had a meeting at the Sydney airport, and we did lots of submissions to the PBAC, and both drugs got up, and And the government was really worried about how much it might cost them for these new drugs. But anyway, it all worked out fine in the finish. So it did. So I was pretty happy about how that worked out. So yes, Jason, up to you.
Well, that's the reason why Louise came on board today, because Neville and Jim, just what you were talking about then is an example of your commitment to the cause and how many men and families you guys have actually helped out and assisted through this online Zooming. And Jim, I don't know if you remember meeting me about 4 or 5 years ago at a AstraZeneca function in Brisbane. That was the first time I met you. And just firstly, I suppose, my name's Jason Castle. I'm the Community Engagement Manager for Queensland, Northern Rivers and Darwin for the PCFA. So I work really closely with Louise, with all the support groups throughout that region. There's about 30 of them. And I just came on board today pretty much to reflect what Louise just said. But it's really hard for me to put into words, Jim and Neville, how much I respect just your input and energy you've put in to the whole cause of all your time, what you're doing, helping all these men. And as Louise said, I speak to a lot of men that speak about you both very highly, and this Zoom and all the work you do in the community. And it's greatly appreciated, lads, and all these gentlemen here. Thank you so much for supporting the Zoom, and obviously reach out to us as well with our counselling service and nursing if you want to talk as well. But thanks so much, gentlemen, and I really wish you the best in the coming days and your future of your lives. But thanks so much.
Thanks, Jason, and enjoy the cricket.
Great. And I can't stay. I'll stay for a little while, but I've got a big lunch today for the Queensland Philanthropy Awards. So there's so I've got to go to that and prepare for that. And but I just wanted to say thank you very much. Reach out to me or Louise, all of you gentlemen, and Jim and Neville. Thank you. Well
Thanks, Jason.
Nev.
Yes, Jim.
You spoke a little of the history, so I might step in a bit here. I started this group back in August 2009.
Wow.
168 monthly online meetings. It was by voice originally. The biggest meeting we had was 252. 52 of them were from Australia, and the other 200 were from overseas. About 2/3 of the overseas ones were from America. The rest were from Iceland, South Africa, London, all over the place. We had forums, which I closed down about 2 weeks ago now. The most people we had online at the same time there was in the hundreds. We had about 500 live ones because we used to check up on them. You couldn't go dead on us because we summonsed you. That happened to Nev in his very first encounter with us. He said he'd come to the first meeting and he didn't turn up. So Ewan chased him up. Personally, most of our members, well, sorry, not most, but the majority of our members, I collected. Groups were suspicious of, they'd gathered their few members, and they were worried that the advanced group would take any of them. So I attended, on average, 3 local meetings every year. For about a decade, and I'd asked to talk to the people who were advanced, and I'd collect them there. Also, there's a Mates Connect service now, but before they had Mates Connect, if a guy rang up PCFA, and said, can I talk to a man with prostate cancer? Then they referred him to me. And then when Mates Connect came along, I for a year or two or three, I collected 2 or 3 of those a week. So I've ended up having thousands of conversations over the years and helped quite a few people. Nev's spoken about working with government. I guess my greatest achievement in that area, at least, was in talking to the government. We went to Canberra. When I say we, Nev often drove me to lots of these places, or sometimes flew me to some of these places. I went to Canberra anyway 5 times, and I addressed and as a result of our lobbying there, the Senate called a committee to inquire into the cost of cancer drugs and the length of time it took to implement them. So I addressed that committee. Later on, when we started looking at isotopes, the first isotope was radium-233, and there was a problem with getting that. The legislation virtually made it impossible. So Tony Maxwell and I worked with the PBAC, which puts drugs on the PBS, and the MCAT, which puts procedures on Medicare, and we got them to bring the rules together.
Wow.
So that enabled then radium-233 to be approved. That was one of the most dramatic parts of my stewardship. Nev's daughter drove me down to where the Prime Minister was opening his campaign, and he was opening with a promise to make these drugs, these isomers available, just as they had 3 years before. But I went there, and I had a sign upside down, ready to hold up, that said, 11,325 men have died of advanced prostate cancer since you last promised this. And the local member who was hosting it, his heavies worked on me, and then the Prime Minister's heavies worked on me, and I was, I guess you could call it, counter-lobbied for about 4 hours before the Prime Minister actually came to me, and he promised, in the words that I asked for and insisted on, that he would get the legislation changed. Previous to that, we had identified the problem. We'd even rewritten the legislation so that it would, what it would say and so on. And anyway, he promised that, and by the end of the year, it was in, and he was out. So that was very dramatic.
Job done though, Jim. Well done, mate.
But there's been a lot of fun. As Nev said, 5 trips to America with some of the people here, accompanying me, Nev and Tony and others. I must say that it's been a mutual support group. I've said something of stuff that I've done, and something of the stuff that Nev has done, but of the sort of hundreds that have gone through the group over the years, many of them have contributed to it. I can see Yanni there. He's chaired a couple of these, but back in the days before we had automatic subtitling, Yanni would put in all the titles for it. Tony, I mentioned, he's the guy who made it Australia-wide. It was only Queensland and Northern New South Wales till he and I met in 2010 at a conference. And he's done lots and lots of things, the lobbying and the chairing and the background work on what needs to be changed and the research that needed to be done and so on. Yeah, others, everyone, lots of people have been involved. So it's been a great team effort. Thanks, Nev.
Thanks, Jim. Yeah, and there's other things we've done too that they're too numerous to mention here, I think. So they are. Some of them might be a bit smaller, but not insignificant, just the same. So that they've helped men. Now, Paul, Brendan, and John have arrived since while you were speaking, Jim. So welcome to them today. Would Jason and Louise, would they like to add anything else in case they want to go early?
Yeah, I've got to go quickly, but I just want to say, Jim, I'll try and catch up with both of you privately because I know you're both in Brisbane, and I'll see you as Nev is ongoing with the group at Ipswich. But everyone, as a collective, we're going to do a virtual thing here. I'm not sure if you've done it before, but we're going to give Jim and Neville a virtual clap. If you go down to react, have you done it before? If you go down to react, and we're going to give them a big clap. You ready? So we'll go. There you go. Clip the clap. And I'll talk to you both soon. But
thanks, Jason. Okay. All the best.
Jason.
Okay, I've got to go.
And I'll leave you too, because I respect your privacy of the group. Yeah. And I just wanted to add, I've not attended a support group meeting before. So I actually feel really honoured that this is my first, only for a short period, but yeah, so good feeling about it. Thank you.
You're more than welcome to stay, Louise, if you want to. There's no issue there regarding being at the meeting. So that's entirely up to you.
Well,
we're grateful to have you here.
But thank you. No, I really appreciate that.
Bye, guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See you, Jason.
Louise, before you go,
yes,
you mentioned that there are a number of other groups around the country that have virtual meetings, Zoom meetings. Who are they? Where are they?
Yeah, there's at least, I mentioned 2, and I was trying to do a bit of homework beforehand. There's one out of Perth, and I'll just actually, I think it's called, so you can actually go into the PCFA website, and there's a dashboard of support, and under support it lists all our support groups around Australia. So there's definitely one out of WA, and there's one out of South Australia that I'm aware of. Even though every day I'm looking at our data, I'm always looking to update the website. It keeps changing, but they're the other 2 that I know of. I can shoot those details up to Nev and Jim even while you're meeting. But yeah, you can have a look at, I'm just actually going back one step, just having a look.
There is one. I'm also a member of the Heidelberg group in Melbourne, and they have Zoom meetings as well.
Exactly. I would say 30% of support groups that I'm aware of will have Zoom or online opportunities to join the meetings. So there's more and more. Even I'm in Melbourne as well, and I know that Frankston and Peninsula, just recently I heard that they have people Zooming into their support meetings. So we're seeing an increase of that given the technology we all had to learn about very quickly a few years ago. So yes, so I don't want to guess what you're thinking, but yeah, there would be opportunities if the group were not to continue to Zoom into other groups.
Thanks, Louise. Appreciate that.
I'll say goodbye.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
No, you're more than welcome. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Ian,
Nev.
Yeah.
Perhaps it might be a good idea to talk now about continuity, which has already been addressed, of the continuity of the group. Can I do that now?
Yeah, you can. I thought Louise might have been going to do that, but anyway.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. So there have been a few components to this group, but recently we're just down to two of them. One is running this Zoom group, and the other is posting the Zoom group online. I'm not available to do any more. Just to speak about myself for a second here. The last two specialists I went to, one was the prostate cancer specialist, and he said, my guy had retired, and I went to this guy for the first time and the last time, because he said, you've been for 17 years and it still hasn't killed you, so you can probably give up your hormone therapy. So I've dismissed him, and I'm getting my hormone therapy until they carry me out continuously to the end of my life, because the research shows that high lots of radiation, and then if it recurs, hormone therapy continuously gives you your best chance. The second one I went to yesterday about the innards that I don't have. I lack a lot of guts, and he said at the end of the consultation, I'll see you same time next month. So there you go. It looks like I might last another month. So that's looking forward. Okay, how it might continue. The Zoom system has been in recent months updated to make it very, very easy to maintain and run Zoom groups, Zoom meetings. Basically, software that's not much more complicated than you logging on here and finding the buttons to do things, will let you run a Zoom meeting. They have a calendar that looks like an Apple calendar or all the online calendars. And in the calendar, you'd say, I'd like a meeting here, and you'd say who you'd want it for. And then the software sends out the invitations to everybody on that date for you. And people log in. So you don't need much more than someone who's designated as the host, or one of the hosts, or a co-host, technical terms you find out about. My grandson beside me is a co-host, and he's been admitting people today. But but anyway, the whole process is quite simple. Sending it out to people, the results. It's quite simple for the people who logged on to communicate to other people. Beside the people who are in the meeting, the people who might be interested, you really need someone like Nev with the list of names and addresses, and he can email out the link to the Zoom, sorry, to the Zoom meeting, the link to the Zoom meeting. So they don't require much more than a person who's more than one person, because people have to go in for treatment and on holidays and so on. But you need a core of people, at least one person to do all the organising, and people who are going to step in to do other jobs for them, like running it when they're away, starting it when they're away, or chairing it and those sort of things. So that technology is available and fairly simple. The next level, putting it up on YouTube with the subtitles and all that kind of stuff, is relatively simple for someone who is a bit technical. We Nev and I, while we're working through this in the last few months, I know a guy who's in a philanthropic group, and he said he'd put in as much money that was needed, but we wanted somebody, preferably not an old guy with a fatal disease, to manage all the other technical bits. And there was one such chappie who might have been available, and we followed that through, and it messed out. That would have allowed the whole thing to continue. That was the dream anyway, that it would continue without us, or with us in very limited roles, and over a long period of time. But so the person who organises a Zoom meeting can be anybody. It can be somebody's nephew, uncle, wife, lover, whatever. As I mentioned just in the last minute or so, if it can be somebody who's got a bit of time and some goodwill, it's fairly simple to get it going and to get the support you need. Any question to me on that now, or Nev?
Yes, Ross.
Yeah, thanks, Jim, and thanks to both of you for the work you put into this. And I'm a fairly recent starter, but I was diagnosed in 2021 and now in stage 4 on hormone therapy and darolutamide. But I know Zoom pretty well. I've been using it for many years in my work. I'm now retired, but got some boards on the side that I do as well. I'm happy to help out in that. And as I understand it, the new Zoom software can actually hold your email list as well and send the things out to email.
Yes.
So
Yep.
it's just a matter of updating the list as new people come on board as a secondary function. So I'm happy to help and continue it in whatever fashion. I think it's helping a lot of men at the moment. So that's great.
Okay. Let me put on the hard word then. You said help. Are you prepared to take on the organisation for now?
Well, when you say the organisation, yes, I'll be one of the hosts.
That Zoom part that I mentioned, yeah.
Yeah. The only issue I have with regard to recording and putting up on YouTube is I use Macintosh computers, right?
Me too. Me too. I can recommend software there.
Yeah, so but sometimes there's a clash with people using PCs and Mac formats and that sort of stuff. But if we can get around all that, then I'm happy to do that too. So
well as a grandson next to me, I got a PC as well, but you don't need them both. No, you can run it from a Mac. I've run it from a Mac. The PC I only bought recently, last year or two. Yeah.
Yeah. careful in those situations of what we say to those guys.
All right, looks like there's going to be some continuity.
I think John's got his hand up too, Jim.
Yeah, John
Yes.
B's got his hand up. Yeah, John is on terbium 161. So yeah, I'll be interested to see how that's going, John.
Yeah, that wasn't why my hand was up, but
No, I realise that.
I also have a counselling background and have facilitated groups and set them up and what have you in the past. So I'm willing to also help Ross with that side of things if required. Yeah.
Thank you.
I
Thank you
guess it's
very
somewhat
much.
dependent on my own.
Thank you very much,
You
John,
want to
for
hear
that
about
offer.
terbium, or we'll do that later?
Yeah, we'll do that later. Yeah. I realise you had your hand up for a other reason other than terbium, but yeah, no, I appreciate your input.
My internet
might-
connection is very
we might-
flaky, so it might be in and out.
Pardon? Ian, he had his hand
my
up earlier.
internet connection.
He wanted to leave early, so we might give Ian a chance to give us a quick update. If he can unmute.
Oh, you can't, can you? Yeah.
You're muted, Ian. No, can't get him to unmute. Well, we'll come back to him. Peter, did you have your hand up to leave earlier before? Peter Hall?
Yeah, I've got another doctor's appointment that I'll need to leave here by about 11, Nev. So,
well, it'll be over by 11.
Yeah, well, I wasn't too sure how long we were going to go.
Yeah, no, well, I've got to leave at 11 myself, or 5:02.
Okay.
So I have.
Yeah, not a problem then.
Yeah, right, all good. Now, everybody's changed position on my screen. I don't know where Ian's gone.
He's still
Oh,
on.
there he is. No, he's still on mute. So he is. So
can we wrap that continuity up?
yeah, righto.
That Ross will contact me, and Nev will post him the list of names and addresses, and he will be a conduit for anyone else who is going to take any role and wants to talk to me about it. So then we can move on for the people who have needs to talk about their situation or ask a question or whatever. Nev?
Yeah, thanks, Jim. Now, there's one complication. It's all very well to put everybody's emails in. There's a lot of men that I only have a mobile phone number for. So, I just send that out to them individually. I can send the emails out as a group email in the BCC line. That's not a problem. And I can certainly update my list because some of them are only just written in, because as things change, I just write some in with a biro. I can update my list very quickly, and I can email that to Ross because I've got Ross's email address. But I don't know how you deal with the mobile phone ones.
Can I make a couple of suggestions there for both Jim and
not
Nev?
a problem.
What I'd suggest with the mobile phones is just doing a group text message to them. I don't want to do things individually. So you get all the mobile phone numbers together in a list, you do a group text message to all those guys. They get that. I'm also not comfortable with me being the only person that organises and hosts every meeting. I don't mind setting up the meetings and getting the dates and sending the things out, but I think we should have a group of men who are prepared to host, such as you're doing now, Nev, such as Jim's done before, but 4 or 5 men, and we take it in turns to host each meeting, because that's where the real work is, actually managing each meeting and getting things going and getting speakers in and that sort of thing. So if people are happy with that sort of thing, we'll have 4 or 5 guys who are prepared to host a meeting occasionally, once every 2 or 3 months, whatever. And then I'll do the organising for each meeting, but I don't want to host every single one.
Yeah, I'll help host. Ross, I'll help host.
Thank you.
So that was never my intention. I actually have, for the guy we were hoping would take over this, we had instructions for each of the roles, as you say, the 5 people who might do whatever, so that we could be tided over. The group can be tided over. Yes, yeah. So the only reason I wanted a nominated person is make it easier for me to communicate. Yeah,
I recognise that, Jim. I understand. I've done plenty of that sort of organising, so I'm happy to do that. But maybe people could write into you, let you know with an email saying, "Yeah, I'm happy to be part of a group to help host these meetings."
No, I can't guarantee my. It's difficult for me to even do an email.
Easy to email me.
Okay. Nev,
no. Could it be that they email you because Nev and I are saying we can't be dependent on anymore except to transfer stuff.
Well, then they've all got to have my email address, and this is only a small part of the group. So this is the problem in terms of who's got an email to write to.
Okay. So when you get the stuff from Nev, you can send out a general email text to say that now the group will continue, and if you want to volunteer or whatever like that, something like that.
Okay.
I think Gabriel had his hand up to help.
Yeah. I've actually passed on my email address, Nev, but I still keep getting texts. So I'm wondering, is there a forum where I can actually send that on to you again?
What was come again with that? I'm sorry.
I'm still getting the invitations via text, but I've passed on my email address to you. So I'm just a bit concerned that my email address won't be passed on to Ross.
Oh no, it'll be passed on to Ross. There's no worries about that. It's just that the reminder is sent out on
text. Okay, got it. Okay, good.
Yeah, because a lot of people may not look at their email for a couple of days. So if I send a text, they're more likely to see that on the morning.
Okay, good. Thank you.
So if anybody does get lost, as Gabriel was feared of for a minute, that you can try Nev and I to contact it to the organisers of the ongoing group. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I'll send the list to Ross. I'll tidy it up and send it to Ross over the weekend.
Okay.
So I will. Right. Have we organised enough of that now for continuation, which is great? Thank you very much, Ross, for your offer to assist and keep things going, and Gabrielle, that's great that
you've
made that potential commitment this morning. Yeah, really, really appreciate it, and I'm sure Louise and Jason will appreciate it too. I'll include Louise's email in the list of emails that I send to you, but it's pretty simple. It's pretty much the same as everybody else that works with PCFA. First name dot last name at pcfa.org.au.
If you could include any of the visitors that you've had on the Zoom meetings and any other contacts that are relevant to prostate cancer that you've got on your list, that'd be great as well. Thanks, Nev.
Yeah, righto. Yeah, righto. I'll see what I can do in that regard. See, a lot of them I just drop, but I'll see what I can find.
Okay, thanks, Nev.
Yeah. Good, Ross. Thanks very much for that. And
can I just say, I've organised my papers in an app called ReadCube Papers. So basically, I have about 2,600 papers, a few of which I paid for, but most of which I acquired. A lot of them are in the last 2 years when I've been very ill. I haven't updated much, but it's only $65 a year. And if there's someone who would be interested in maintaining that, PCFA will refund. They'll pay for the Zoom costs, and they'll pay for I'm assuming that they'll pay for this paper system and so on. So if there's anyone who's interested in the sort of academic side of it, that's available.
Jim, I do the same thing. I've got a folder on my drive that contains all the research papers I've looked up through the university databases. I'm an ex-researcher, so I chase those things up as well.
Yes, so I used to have it, but this is one that's actually made for researchers, and it's got super searching on it and so on, and backwards looking at citations and so on. Yeah, I had a folder list until I got an earlier version of this one. But anyway, it's available, and it costs you next to nothing to look at it and try it out.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks, Ross. And thanks, Gabriel. Really appreciate it that you're prepared to step up. It's great news. Bit of a relief, actually. So it is that you might be able to keep the show running. So it is, and I'm sure PCFA will be more than happy. So they will. Rightio. Now, who would like to update their story? I would like to hear about John and his terbium, but I don't know whether John wants to talk about his terbium.
Yeah, sure. I'm a bit flat at the moment, but it's not helped by the fact that so I'm into my third cycle of terbium 161. I think I have spoken about it before. Side effects, I've been quite nauseous and a very dry mouth because you've got PCMA cells in your saliva, so it affects that as well. Which means I've had trouble eating, and in fact I've lost 15 kilos in the past 11 weeks.
All right, I can see it.
So I just wait for Jim to mute.
So sorry, everyone. Oh dear.
Okay. Where was I? So
you've lost 15 kilos in the
coming off abiraterone and the steroids. Yeah, that's where I was up to. Yeah, which has been fine until now, but I can't afford to lose another 15. Last week I had bone scans, CT scans, PET scans, 2 sets of PET scans. So I spent a lot of time at Peter Mac, and unfortunately I contracted COVID there, which is why I'm a bit sort of flat and tired. But not the sort of thing you want to get in the middle of this sort of treatment. But I thought that would affect my treatment, but thankfully they had protocols in place, and with me all masked up and them all in PP gear, the treatment went ahead yesterday anyway. So that was very pleasing. Unfortunately, after coming off the Advie and steroids, and despite this now the 3 treatments, it's only sort of stabilized around 9.4, and they're not really quite sure yet how effective it's actually going to be. So I'm in a bit of fingers crossed, wait for the next treatment kind of place.
Yeah. Did you give Glenn Cruz a ring?
But my bloods are okay, and yeah, and fingers crossed. The other thing I guess I wanted to talk about, and I may have you and
You're breaking up on us, John.
some of my fellow participants in the trial didn't realise just what potential impact long-term steroid usage can have for more than 3 years. Sort of the weakening of your makes sitting or standing, sorry, difficult to do. Very difficult. Its name was stairs, and I had to see physio and do other treatments to try and restore that muscle wastage, but it's had quite an impact on me. If I had known that beforehand, I would have exercised those specific muscles, and it may have alleviated some of the impact. Other than that, I think I've covered it. I hope you've been able to hear me okay.
You've been breaking up a fair bit on us, John. I'm sorry. So you have. I'd just like to. Did you ring Glenn Cruz? Give him a call.
I plan to, but I haven't yet. Like I said.
That's okay. No worries. Yep.
I will definitely ring him. Yeah.
Just for everybody, John asked, was there anybody a couple of meetings ago when I was down at Dubbo, he asked if anyone was on lutetium-177, and Glenn Cruz is on lutetium-177 at St Vincent's, I think. What's the lady there? I got a blank. Louise Emmett. He's under her care, and he's very pleased with how she treats him and everything. And lutetium is not going to be available to the general public because he's quite adamant that it's not going to be available to all the hospitals are pulling out of giving it to people because of all the nonsense that's going on from overseas and the cost. And so don't hold your hopes up too much for lutetium. Apparently some people in Victoria might still get it because a benefactor down there give Peter Mac some money, and but you have to be a resident in Victoria. You can't come from another state. They've locked down on people coming from interstate to have lutetium infusions. So, but Glenn is hoping he might be able to access actinium-225. I understand. He'll correct me if that's wrong. He doesn't come to the meetings, but he does listen to the videos. So a lot of people don't come to the meetings, but a lot of people do watch the videos, and they're aware of what's going on. So the videos are worthwhile. There's no question about that. So they are.
Nev, can I just butt in? John, if you want to make any other contributions to the meeting, can I ask you, when you unmute yourself, can you turn off your video? There's not much of a line going down to your place, and some of it's being taken up by your picture. Yes, we'll probably hear you better if you need to say stuff. Thanks, Nev. Thanks, John.
Thanks, Jim.
Okay.
Well, if you've got something else to say, John, we'll find out how it goes anyway. Thanks. So,
Nev, Jim Lloyd's coming in.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, thank you. Welcome, Jim Lloyd. Neville here, Neville Black.
He's not in yet.
Oh, he's not in yet. Righto.
Oh, yeah, well.
We'll see what happens. Righto. Is there anybody else that wants to give us an update at the moment?
Jim, you can unmute, and Nev's chairing the meeting.
Okay, I'm on, I think.
Yeah,
yes.
Neville here.
Hello,
Neville
hello.
here, Jim, you're on.
Hello,
Welcome.
Neville, and hello, Jim. Look, I just wanted to jump in and say, look, thank you, both of you, so much for everything you've done over so many years, and particularly for this group. And I know it's the last meeting, and I just didn't want to miss just saying thank you and how much I've appreciated it.
Oh, well, I wouldn't get too down in the dumps if I were you. Ross Chapman has volunteered this morning to do some work, and yeah, we've got Gabriel. He's going to step up to the mark and help as well. So yeah, all is not lost.
Fantastic. It's too good a resource to lose, and we still want you guys around for as long as you can, but you know, everyone needs a break occasionally. But that's great news, and please pass on my contacts to them as well. If there's anything I can do to be in touch and help out, I'm happy to.
Yeah, I'll pass on your details, and I'll pass on Louise Thompson and Jason Castle's details to them as well.
Fantastic, mate. All right, look, I won't stay online, but I just wanted to jump in and say that to you.
Righto. Thanks, Jim.
I'd like to thank you for everything you've done for us, especially at that time I got into Parliament House because you knew the sheriff.
Yeah, I remember you didn't have any ID at that time on your hard copy, and they thought you looked a bit rugged. I think they were a bit worried what you were going to do, but we got you in, and I always remember that. And what is to me, Jim, is an inspiration is I know at that time, many years ago now, I think about 15, 16 years ago, you were struggling then, and you have just, battled on for so many years, and just an inspiration to me and to so many other people. So it's a team effort. We're all here to help each other, and yeah, good on you for still being here and still fighting the fight.
Thank you very much for your kind words, and I've always appreciated your help. Thank you.
That's all right. Okay, well, I'll jump out, and we'll let you get on with it.
Thanks, Jim. George Kerr. George Kerr, you want to say something?
Neville and Jim, I've come across a letter from some people at the Deakin University that are looking for men that are on ADT for a 12-week survey. Now, I'm just wondering whether people in the group may be interested in contacting Emily McNeil in Melbourne and seeing if they fit the person that, the people that she's looking for to do this survey into their activity and their eating habits and their dietary functions.
Right. So
now her number is Melbourne, so it's 03 and it's 925 17265. That's the number to ring her direct, and she's very nice to talk to, and she's looking for men that have been on ADT for at least 3 months. Well, some of us have probably been on ADT for quite a while.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
So if Ross may like to take that number on board and have it, if people are interested in ringing him and doing it, or ring this Emily McNeil directly in Melbourne, she can see whether these people are suitable for their survey.
How long does this survey go for, George?
It's a 12-week thing.
Right.
And they send you out, I think they send you out some measuring equipment. So they measure your fat content, however you squeeze your skin together and measure what fat's on you. And they're looking at weights and heights, and I think they give you guidance in what diet to to try to stick to while the survey's in operation. And they have 4 or 5 over the phone or Zoom contacts with you from some of their professors or their specialists to guide you along the way of what they'd like you to do and how you're going. So probably suits some of the members that are in our little group.
Yep. Yes, Gabriel.
I've just pasted her email address in the chat, so you can copy and paste it there. I'm actually taking part in the trial myself.
Oh, right.
Yeah, thanks for bringing it up, George.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, you've got a heads up on it all.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for that, Gabriel. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. I've just completed the survey, and my first meeting with Emily. So I had a phone consultation with her.
Yeah.
So I passed the criteria that they needed, and I'm doing my weigh in and my physical check in with them on the 26th of this month. So
right.
So I could give an update on that later on. But
yeah. Oh, okay. That's good. Well, yeah, she's looking for people. She's still looking for people. I spoke to her yesterday, I think it was, and she said, yes, we're looking for people, and she wants them within a certain body mass range or something. And yeah, I mean, if they want to do research on our group of people, well, I'll kind of help to send out the message.
Thanks, George.
Okay, thanks, Nev, and thanks to you and Jim for all our little time together.
That's okay. Yep. David Wilkinson, good morning. Yes, David, would you like a copy of those contact details for your group?
Can I just say to you, I've already registered. I've sent them out to my group.
Oh, good.
I've done the survey that we had to do, and I've got a phone interview on the 20th of this month regarding that particular thing from Emily. So yeah, I've sent it out to my group already. Thanks, mate. And,
that's good. Yeah, you're all over it. Yeah, too easy.
Can I just ask a question of the group?
Absolutely.
I was diagnosed 2011. Open radical prostatectomy 2011. 32 sessions of radiation 2012. And 3 lots of ADT in 2014. But a tumour grew, so 26 sessions of palliative radiation in 2016. Been on Lucrin since. 3 weeks ago, I started on enzalutamide. Just wondering if other men in here are on enzalutamide and if they're having any sort of reactions. I don't know whether it's coincidental, but I've had a dreadful cold and carry on since I've been on this particular drug, and very, very tired and listless. Just wondering if that's one of the side effects of it.
Yanni, if you can unmute, you can talk.
David, pardon me. David, I've been on enzalutamide for the last probably 6 years, 7 years. And sure, I'm fatigued despite sleeping well. But I haven't found myself more disposed to catching colds or the flu or anything like that. I mean, I do take flu injections annually. Despite the fact that I've just got over a really crappy flu that I caught on a plane just a month ago, I've found that enzalutamide has been pretty non-eventful.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yep, thanks, David. Thanks, Yanni. Yes, Jim.
Just a general principle, you'll find lots of things that say that they will boost your immune system. Most of them are flat out lies, or people who are mistaken, or whatever. However, men on hormone therapy have their immune system boosted, and it becomes more like a female's immune system. So females, because they have a stronger immune response, they don't catch as many colds and flus. And when they do get them, they don't get them as severely as men usually do. So when you're on hormone therapy, that will make you more like that. But the women pay a price for this because they have a very strong immune response. Their immune system sometimes attacks their own body cells, autoimmune diseases. If you've got rheumatoid arthritis or anything like that, that is an immune disease, then hormone therapy won't make that any better. So that's just a general principle. I think Peter was going to say something more. Nev?
Yeah, I think Bob Owen, he had his hand up too. So yeah, I'll go with Bob first.
I was just going to say that I'm also on enzalutamide, and apart from the fatigue, I've had no real side effects. I've just gotten over a cold, which I think was incidental. I don't think was connected. But apart from that, no, I've had no trouble with enzalutamide.
Thanks, Bob. Peter, do you have your hand up?
Yes, thanks, Nev. David, I used to be on enzalutamide, but my main issue with that was a severe reaction in relation to bone, joint, and muscle pain. So I was transferred from enzalutamide to Zytiga, but I got depression. So they transferred from Zytiga to darolutamide. So enzalutamide was mostly pain with joints and muscles. The only other point I was going to raise was Gabriel had put up the email address for Emily, but it only lasted on the screen for 5 seconds. So I'm just wondering if it can get up again, because all I've got is E.McNeil, and that's as far as I got.
Sorry, Peter, that's because of your poor line today, I think.
It's in the chat room.
But it's in the chat still.
Oh, well, you're ahead of me. I never saw anything.
I've just pasted it again.
Oh, yeah, I see it now. Emily's email is E.whatever.
McNeil.
At Deacon. Yeah.
Do you want me to spell it out? Would that be helpful? Dot. Can people see it?
I'll get on to George and find it off George.
Nev will post it out. We always try to avoid these spelling things online because it takes a lot of the meeting up.
Yeah, I'll get a copy off George and send it out to everyone. So I will. I'll do that over the weekend. Whoops. I don't know what I've done.
We can still see you and hear you.
Yeah, but I couldn't see anyone else myself. That was the problem. So, yeah. Rightio, does anyone else like to say? Yeah, yes. Tony Maxwell. Have to unmute yourself, Tony. You unmuted and then you muted yourself back. Now you're right.
Now I'm right.
Yep. Good.
I'll just make a quick comment on enzalutamide, but before that, I'd just like to thank Nev and Jim for all the work they put in over so many years. It's been a real pleasure to work with you guys, and I'm happy to sort of help out in various ways as we move ahead. I'm getting a bit old and crotchety now, like some of us are, but I'd be very happy to do that. So secondly, enzalutamide, I've been on Leukerin since 2003 after an unsuccessful radical. Main effect is fatigue, and I then went on to or added enzalutamide to that in about 2014 in a clinical trial. That helped with the PSA and everything, but it didn't seem to have very much additional effect with the fatigue. It just seemed to carry it on because I kept going on Leukerin as well. In fact, I'm still on Leukerin and enzalutamide today, even though I've been able to get relief in other ways. So I think many of these drugs, it's a real lottery as to how individual people respond to them in various ways. So it's still a difficult issue on the side effects.
Nev, can I suggest that unless somebody's got an urgent matter now, that we close the meeting and let people unmute, and if anybody wants to say anything particular to one or two of us on their way out, that'll be fine.
I think, Yanni, did you have your hand up, Yanni?
I just had my hand up, Nev. David.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry, David.
I just wanted to say to Tony, thanks very much for that. And I remember Tony was at a meeting of Nepean Blue Mountains prostate cancer back in about 2012. And he's one of the guys who sort of inspired me at the time to keep going and one thing and another. So it's great to see you again, Tony. You don't remember me, but I remember you. And thanks for what you said. Okay. And also, thanks.
See you later.
Yeah.
Thanks, David. Yeah, and thanks, Tony, for your what you said before. We've done a few things together over the years in various cities, and I think we've all helped to make a bit of a difference. So we have. In fact, I know we have, haven't we? But anyway, that's all good.
So,
Rightio.
So yes, I'd just like to say a great big thank you to Jim and to Nev too, because over the last few years that I've been associated with this group, I've learned so much and been able to pass on a lot of that information to so many people as well. It's been really invaluable. So thank you, guys.
Thanks, Yanni.
Well,
we might shut the meeting down, as you said, Jim, and then if people want to say other things.
But I would also like to whilst you're here, say thanks to Ross for taking up the mantle, because it would have been an incredible shame, and to Gabriel, to have the group fall apart. So well done, you guys.
So
absolutely, absolutely.
I'm not sure. I'm saying we are shutting down the meeting now. So if someone wants to say, like Yanni did, to say something, they can, or you can just say goodbye. I'm conscious that Nev has to go in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I really do.
Thank you both. That's my quick thank you.
Okay, thanks, Gabriel. Thanks for those words, Yanni.
Jim, could I just say I've got 4 names down so far who've expressed an interest. Gabriel, George, I don't have a last name for you, George, Tony Maxwell, and Yanni. Those 4 people have said that they're happy to help, as far as I can recall. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, John also said, but...
John.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that.
I just want to endorse Yanni's comments and everyone else's. Jim and Nev, thank you. I've only been a member of the group for a few months, but it's been very interesting. Point of difference here is, I've been a member of Geelong Prostate Support Group, and there's, a lot of conversation about the front end of prostate, but very little about the back end or the continuity of advanced prostate cancer, and this is a great forum. And to Ross and Gabriel, look forward to working with you as the group continues. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Gary. And that's the thing with a lot of support groups in various towns. They just talk about guys that are newly diagnosed rather than people that have had, go on to further treatment down the track, because a lot of times there's not very many in the group that have got advanced prostate cancer. So they don't have anyone to help them there in with that regard. And as the years go by, advanced prostate cancer has become, there's a lot more treatments available, and it's become a lot more complicated for someone just recently diagnosed. So it has. There's a lot of things that can happen, and they need to happen in the right order. So they do. Rightio, thank you.
Anyone else? Because we're closing now.
Thanks everyone, and thanks again to Ross and Gabriel, and really appreciate it.
Thanks,
guys.
And bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Leave the meeting. Leave meeting. Oh.